Good morning, welcome back. So another episode, my Z restoration. So I'm here at the office, so not in my usual workspace. I've been doing a little bit of work this week on getting some stuff ready for the car. Basically all the steel components I want to get off to the blasters and to the powder coaters so I can get them all ready, store them away, ready for when the car gets back. I don't know if you saw my Instagram during the week, but the panel work has begun, the metal work has begun on the car, so we've done around the fuel flap and across that rib hatch panel on the body. So yeah, starting to make some progress on the car. So basically, like I said, what I've done this week is actually pressed all the bushings out that I could and cut the other ones out that I couldn't press out. Had some help from my mate Joel, so thank you very much, Joel, really appreciate that. So yeah, I'll run you through what I've done. I've got it in a tub just down on the floor, so yeah, let's have a look at that. So here we go, this is what we've done. So we've cleaned all these bushes out of these ends of the moustache bar. So that's all ready to go. Now, what I did, we have a robo wash here at the office, so I chucked everything in the robo wash and it absolutely took all the paint off. I guess 43-year-old paint isn't that strong. Now these ones are absolutely near impossible to get out, so I had to drill the rubbers out of these and then use a hacksaw to cut the outer case and then just press them out with a socket and a hammer. A little bit of persuasion, but I finally got there. So yeah, I didn't notice this as well. This is quite a funny one. I don't know if any of you other guys noticed this, but the rear suspension arms, they're the same left and right. You just spin them upside down. So if I put that one that way, one's upside down, one's the normal way up. Now I never realised that. When I saw this the other day, I thought, hang on, I have no chance I've got more than these two. But yeah, it was quite a funny thing. I've never really noticed that. So yeah, subframe all stripped apart. So that looks pretty good, ready to go. Now I did the headlight rings and headlight cases. So I ordered some new adjuster clips off eBay. So they're on their way. These will go not to the powder coaters, these will go to the zinc coaters. So today's sort of work is to get everything ready to go next week to the powder coaters and the blasters, and all the bolts and nuts and washers and everything together to go to zinc coaters. So hopefully, yeah, get that all done today and then move on to the next stage. Another update was the diff. So that was weird. One of the boys here, I don't know if you heard that on the mic. One of the boys here at the office knows the team down at Maximum Motorsport pretty well, and they were having a big garage sale clean out. So I ended up with an STI R180 out of an RA, so it's a clutch pack one. There it is. So it's a pretty high ratio, and I'm sure everyone's going to have an opinion on how high that ratio is, but it's a 4.4. So yeah, they say 3.9s are pretty good in the Zs, but 4.4, so it should have a maximum speed of about 200. But yeah, I gave it a big wash and a little coat of paint yesterday afternoon. So yeah, come up pretty good. So I'll get some new side bearings, some new seals, and I'll bang that all back together and get that ready. So just store that one away and just get it ready for when the time comes to actually install it back inside the car. But yeah, these are pretty hard to come by, and it was actually really cheap. I didn't think it would be as cheap as it was, but I was really stoked. The guys did me an awesome deal down there. So cheers to Dean and the team at Maximum Motorsports. Yeah, so someone left a radio on, which is what scared the shit out of me a minute ago. So I'll have to talk to the boys about turning radios off when they go home. Thank you. So as with all restoration projects, you've got to do 10 things at once. So bushes, powder coating, sandblasting, diff. So I'm doing all the gauge restoration at the moment as well. Now I've got all these apart, so I've got to give them a super duper clean and try and repair the clock. So yeah, that's it. The mechanical works pretty good. The electronics are a bit off. So I've tried to change these two capacitors already, but not much success with that. So I'll have another crack at that later. I've also got to do, I bought this yesterday, which is a liquid chrome paint pen. Now, this stuff paints on just like chrome. So, you know, these vents, you know, they have these chrome pieces inside the vents. I should be able to clean most of that up, but on the fascia for the heater controls, I've painted it, but there is chrome stripes that run around where the slides go. So I'm gonna have to get the paint pen and give that a go in there. I will take a photo of it after how I go and I'll whack it on my Instagram story. So yeah, you better see how that comes out. But yeah, these are just gotta basically pull apart, give them a clean. I bought LED strip lighting. So inside these cases, what I'm gonna run all around that inside piece here, I'm gonna run LED strip. So rather than having the single filament globe, have a nice big strip which gives it a big, nice and bright, and it should show them up really, really nice at night. So yeah, I'll once that sort of project's underway, I'll get that on my Instagram story and have a look at that one as well. So here's where the alternator project is up to. So I stripped it all apart, cleaned everything, all the cases and everything like that, so they're all ready to go. So I looked at all the pieces that I needed, and I needed new brushes for the alternator, so they're a bit starved, and the bearings. So the front bearing looked like it had been changed already because it was all painted, everything was sort of painted over, but the rear bearing was never done, and you can hear it. Have a listen to this. Like, so see, we needed to do the rear bearing. So I looked online, and bearings and the brushes, and well, there's a voltage regulator there. So by the time I do all of that, oh no, that is a plate regulator, but by the time I do all those components, it was 50 or 60 bucks, and I thought, well, I wonder how much a new alternator is. New alternator was 70 bucks, like brand new. So I ended up just ordering a new alternator. It's coming in from the east, so that's on its way. So yeah, there's no point. Everyone says alternators are real difficult to get and they're expensive, but there's just no point restoring an alternator with 50 or 60 dollars worth of parts when you can buy a brand new alternator for 70 bucks. You know, it just doesn't make sense. So I'm not going to bother showing you what I'm going to do today because it's just going to be boring crap. But basically, I'm going to whip all these apart. I know that I said in piece by piece it makes it a bit easier, but I have to get all the bolts. So I've got bolts in that one, and 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 that one. So I've got to get every bolt down to the powder, down to the zinc platers. So I've got to have to take them all apart, all the boxes, lay everything out on the floor, and I'm going to try and, I'm going to photo it on the way through, so I know sort of where it came from, where it goes back into. But I'm going to try and sort it into what I can restore. So like, you know, there's not much restoration needed with this sort of stuff. Like this is just, you know, that's a quick fix for me. I can clean that, tidy that up, and it's done. It doesn't need to be, you know, I don't need to buy a new one. There's nothing wrong with that one. It just needs to be cleaned. So into stuff that I can restore, and stuff that I'm going to have to send out for restoration, or something I'm going to have to buy new again. But most of the stuff is, you know, it's pretty straightforward stuff that I can clean, and the rest of the stuff I've got to send out. The only thing I'm having trouble with, and if anyone knows, hit me up in the comments below, but regulators, window regulators, I can't find anyone that does window regulator restoration. There used to be a company here, but I just can't find them anymore. These are okay, but you know, there's a bit of play in there. I'd like to get some new rollers, and I'd like to sort of get them, I'll chuck them in the robo and see what happens with them. But so that's pretty much today's job. I'm going to finish cutting off the other suspension pieces so they can get to the welders and they can get the other stuff. But yeah, today's work is going to be pretty much what I've just explained. It's not going to be too complex. It's not going to be very interesting to watch. I'm going to spare you from that. Yeah, so enjoy, and I'll give you a bit of a recap at the end of the day and show you where we're up to. So, okay, that's me done for the day. It's Sunday and I need to have some rest, but it's been a very, very big week. So you would have seen all the stuff I showed you where I'm up to at the moment. So I'll give you a quick rundown of what I've done today, and show you one of the things I found out, which I've read everything on the internet wrong. So I was looking at US domestic market 260Zs, not Australian 260Z. So give me 2 seconds and I'll show you everything. So here is what we accomplished today. So we have another box ready to go through the wash, and some stuff in there I'm going to paint, and some stuff in there is going to go to the powder coaters and the sandblasters. Basically, pedal box, the bracket for the charcoal canister, stub axles, hubs. I found the other engine mount. That is the accelerator pedal there. That's going to go down and get blasted. This piece, which I can't even remember what the hell that's for. The bumper brackets, and I've got the old bumpers there. I've got to work out what to do with the bumpers. So that's all apart. Now I split the rest of the shock absorbers. So I cut the bases off the other three. So they are all cut off, ready to go and get the rings welded on to the blasters and into the powder coaters. I split the differ part, which is what I just said a second ago, something I found out today which I didn't know about. So there she is. That's the piece. So now, Australian 260Zs have R200s, not R160s. So going from an R160 to an R180 was an upgrade. Going from R200 to an R180, I don't know, is that a downgrade or not? So I'm going to do a bit of work. I sort of had a funny suspicion when I tried to put the moustache bar on the R180 and it didn't fit, so I figured, oh well, maybe it's just a cover or not, but yeah, it turns out that that's an R200. So long nose R200 LSD, I've got to see if I can find one of them or work out how to convert the back end back to an R180, which is the STI diff that I've got, which shouldn't be too much of a drama. It's just something else to work out. It's always fun to find these little things to work out. So today I separated all the bits. So there's bits up there. These are the bits that I'm going to do the restoration of myself, not send them out. Brake booster, seat belts, what else we got up there? Just there's little intakes that goes into the corners. I found some brand new hoses, brand new belts in the boxes. I'm going to have a crack at doing the regulators myself. Apparently you can buy the pieces after I looked at the internet after the earlier video. And all these bits need to just be cleaned and put away. I'm going to send a heap of stuff to the trimmers. So there's some pieces up here. So this is the back piece behind the tail lights and the rear quarter pieces. So, and the sides that go around the windows. I've got to send them down and get them all trimmed up in Alcantara. The dash, which I thought was absolutely perfect. Turns out it's got a little crack on the top just above where the glove box goes, so that's a bit of a bugger, but I'll get that fixed. So I might end up actually flocking the dash, which I reckon looks pretty good. So I had an FD RX7, which I flocked all the interior, and that looked amazing. So I separated all the bolts, all the brackets, all the bits and pieces. So here is all the brackets and stuff that needs to go down to get zinc plated. So that's all there, and here are all the bolts that need to go down and get zinc plated. So the guys pretty much said just bring me a bucket of bolts, I'll do them for you, and then the brackets he's going to charge me, sort of what he charges me on those, but I've got to have it all done right, so I'm going to this much trouble, so let's get it perfect. But yeah, so pretty good progress. I'm pretty happy with the way things are going. So the next week we are going to make a start on the motor. Joel is going to order all the bits for me, and yeah, we're gonna have a crack at that. There's a couple of guys in Perth that remember working on L series engines. It's been so long, obviously, but there are people that still have a genuine desire. Joel and I are sort of, it's good because it's easy mechanical, and we're sort of a bit excited and looking forward to having a go at it. But yeah, it should be a fun thing to do. So yeah, so that's where we're up to today, and yeah, we'll next week or so we'll have another update for you. Sorry there was no video during the week. I was very busy and had a few things on, so it was a pretty heavy week. So that's it for another episode of My Z Restoration. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I'm up to 30 subscribers now, so that's awesome. So slowly climbing. 10% increase on last time, so you can't complain about that sort of stuff. If there's anything you particularly want to see me do, or anything you want a bit more information on, please just hit it in the comments and I'll have a look at those. But yeah, thanks for watching. Follow me on Instagram, My Z Restoration. Yeah, there's always some stuff on there, so as I'm working through the week I usually can quickly hit a photo and upload that really quickly. I'll go down and see the boys at the panel shop during the week and see where they get up to. They asked this week for tail lights and all the hinges, so I took them down there. Top hinge on the doors were great. I didn't even check the bottom hinges. Bottom hinges are a bit flogged out, but I did order a hinge pin kit, so that's on its way from the US of A. So I'll do a hinge, I guess a hinge restoration. It's probably only going to be a quick video. It's a pretty straightforward sort of thing to do. But yeah, something interesting to watch, I guess. But no, I really appreciate watching. Thank you so much. Hit subscribe, hit the bell icon for more videos, and yeah, My Z Restoration. Thanks for watching, guys. Cheers.